Let's talk SEC. Let's talk Ole Miss at Georgia. Georgia minus 10.5. It's a lot of points. Ole Miss only has one loss on the year, and that loss was to Alabama, an Alabama team that is surging right now. And Georgia's played some close games this year, but it seems like even without Brock Bowers, this offense with Carson Beck at the helm is able to get it done. 15 for Heisman. Maybe
15 for Heisman.
He's up there. Credit Ole Miss. Last week they played Texas A&M and Jackson Dart. I mean, just threw the ball around the yard. It made DJ Durkin look like a MAC defensive coordinator. Not that I'm sorry, the MAC did not deserve that. They did not deserve that.
Yeah,
but guess what? It was bad.
A&M was missing CSL North.
Yeah. A&M was missing a bunch of corners. I still don't believe that this Ole Miss defense is all that good. I think this might be a rout, dude. Ole Miss on the road. Like, it's crazy to say. Like, I think a lot of people have this on their upset alert. I don't see it. I kind of see Georgia running away with this one. Like, last week was the week of the dogs. It was the week of the dogs. This week might be the other way around for me. I really like Georgia in this spot. I like them at home. You hear Brock Bowers was running at practice?
Doesn't surprise me one bit. That guy's a superhuman.
He won't play this game. He won't play this game.
Anybody who thought that he was going to sit out the rest of the year, I said no. I didn't want to say it out loud, but I said no way. Like, that guy's different. That guy's built different. He wants to come back in three-peat.
Yeah, he is 3 weeks after tightrope surgery. That guy's already practicing. He will not play in this game, but those are the kind of dogs that the Bulldogs have, right? Yeah, give me Big G, give me Carson Beck, an improving run game, and ever getting like a defense that seems like it's congealing more and understanding their roles, and people finally are healthy, and it just seems to be coming together for Georgia right now. And well, granted, this part of their schedule has been a little bit tough. They've handled it. I was impressed in the Missouri game. I've been impressed by what Ole Miss has done this year, like these past couple weeks. But overall, Ole Miss is gettable. We saw Tulane, who has a pretty good defensive front, just shut down Ole Miss. Just shut him.
Yeah.
I know Trey Harris. I don't know if I don't think he was playing in that game.
No, they were banged up in that game a lot.
They were banged up in that game, but so was
Tulane.
Michael Pratt
and others there. I get that. And Ole Miss should be deeper, but they're getting healthy now. They're peaking right now. I think they're playing really well.
Yeah, key to the game for them is turnovers. Find a way to get turnovers, and Lane Kiffin's just gonna have to be magical. Right. It just makes it so much tougher that's on the road. And like Sanford Stadium, like, have they had, like, aside from the Missouri game last week, like they've been kind of itching for the big games. This is a top 10 matchup. Ole Miss is ranked number 10 in the college football power rank or college football rankings, right? So
there's some urgency in Sanford Stadium. I think in Georgia, I think they know, like, they want a minute, but this is not the Georgia team of past, and they could still run the table. They can still go 15-0. Whatever. Every year is different. You cannot be comparing. It's hard to compare past teams because, like, every year is different in college football. But I do think I like them on paper. I love the spot here for Georgia. I love the team on paper against each other. The dynamics of the schedule is it's really weird. It's that third game, right? You had Florida, you had Missouri, and now you got Ole Miss. It's hard to get up for 3 straight games in college football. I know if any team can do it, it's Georgia. It's Kirby Smart. But this is a new cast of Georgia. I get it. They sat there and learned, but it's different. This is them now for a 3rd straight game, having to get up and play really good football from the jump. I do think in terms of, like, actual, on the field, I think Jackson Dart. You mentioned Carson Beck for Heisman, and while I support that, I love that. Jackson Dart has a real chance to play himself in the Heisman opportunity.
If he wins this game, sure. Like,
I think going to New York. The problem is here is, yes, Ole Miss is 9-1 and or 8-1. I'm sorry. It sucks because, like, Alabama is right there with no conference losses and the tiebreaker. So, like, they've pretty much clinched their spot, which is a shame. As long as they beat either Kentucky or Auburn, which you'd think that's going to happen, but yeah, I just do think, like, running quarterbacks sometimes give Georgia problems. I think if they can get some tempo going and some Quinshawn Junkett's going early. I think they have a chance in this game. The receivers can win one-on-one opportunities. And I get it, like Lassiter and like the Georgia secondary is incredible. It's
It's
incredible.
ridiculous.
Like it's as good as it is every year. It's probably better this year than it has been in the past. The past, this front seven was just ridiculous. This year, that front seven is good, but that secondary is incredible. So like, that's the hard part. I think Trey Harris, Watkins, Wade, Creek scoring, hopefully can find matchup for him. Like there's matchups to be had here for Ole Miss. But that being said, you still have to stop Georgia. Like you still have to stop Georgia.
Are you taking the plus 10? Are you taking 10.5?
Let me check what the over here is, what they're saying. Because if it's 58.5, right? Quick maths here, it's gonna be what?
I think it's gonna
20,
be
34 to 24. So
yeah.
like I do think Ole Miss scores more than 24 points. So I'm gonna take Ole Miss
Wow.
over. I might
Okay.
regret it.
But Georgia to win.
Yep. I've been over when we're picking Georgia games, except the Kentucky game, but that was free. Everyone knew that. We knew that was free. But like the past couple
We were
weeks,
all over that.
I've been just on the wrong side of Georgia covering. But this time I think I'm right. I think Ole Miss is gonna give them their best shot. And I think Georgia's tired. I think it helps that this game's at home. It really does. But also like if you're Georgia, I know like you with the way it is right now, like it's hard to lose a game and still win. I think your schedule will be strong enough by the end of the year that you can be 12-1 and still get in. This is not the game you have to win. It's next week. Tennessee, if Tennessee beats Missouri, that game next week, you have to win as long as you win this game here. But as long as you don't win this game here. But regardless, I do think this is a spot. Ole Miss tests them. Georgia comes out at the end. So I'll go Ole Miss to cover and Georgia to win.